Ladies and gentlemen, we are from St. William Memorial Secondary School, team number 61178. We would like to introduce and explain our project, Deconstructing Kafka, to all of you. Calculus has been intensively used to analyze a wide range of scientific issues like physics and social science like economics. However, it seems that this powerful tool is seldomly used to describe interpersonal relationship. Therefore, our group wants to extend this methodology to describe the dynamics of love between a father and a son, Franz Kafka and Hermann Kafka. Franz Kafka was one of the most influential writers of the 20th century. He was famous for, these 4 major works. I guess you must have heard of them or even have already read them. His relationship with his father, Hermann Kafka, was particularly awful. More importantly, this awful relationship was reflected in most of his works, as shown here. Here, as we see from this flowchart, firstly, we started from working on his clues in his works. Then, we start working on setting up a model and assign suitable values of coefficients and functions to it. And then, we solve the ODE numerically and then show the solution graphically. Finally, from the graphs, we investigate the fitness of our model. After our intensive reading, we started our weighing process. We chose the period from 1895 to 1923, from when he was 10 to 40. Our scale assumes that the feeling of one person to another is always between 2 conditions, extreme love and extreme hatred. For this reason, we will quantify love to be between positive 10 and negative 10. For example, we believe that the relationship was the worst at the age of 29. At that time, Kafka fell in love with Phyllis. Kafka dreamed of her marrying her, even despite the fact that Phyllis was already married. Together with this, he felt that his father would strongly object to it. Their bad relationship was reflected here in the judgment. Perhaps during his mother's lifetime, his father's insistence on having everything his own way in the business had hindered him from developing any real activity of his own. Also, the protagonist hadn't entered his father's room for months and described him as a giant of a man. Obviously, there were the real situations for Kafka, and they all showed that their relationship was really bad. We have therefore graded the values of Franz's feelings when he was 10, 15, 18, 29, 34, 36, and 40. Here we show you our graph. We should be reminded that the time t here is not Kafka's age. We have to add 10 to this t value to find out his age. Above the equilibrium point, it means positive values, and below it means negative. After that, we start on modeling. Their relationship should be affected by many variables, but due to limited time, as a starting point, we only introduce 3 variables to represent their relationship. These 3 are all functions of t. AK is the feeling of Franz towards his father. AF is the feeling of his father towards him. And L is a special function, describes the education by Franz's father to him. Then their relationships can be modeled by the following systems of equations, as shown here. Let me introduce the 5 functions. As you can see, these 3 terms are negative, representing humans' tendency to forget their feeling, and they are called the forgetting process. The capital D here stands for the difference of characters. Since different characters will lead to different responses, the tendency to hate each other is quite different, represented by these two terms, negative alpha 1D and negative alpha 2D. Thirdly, we come to our reaction functions. It's just the reaction functions RF and RK. They represent the responses to others' attitude. For example, when his father loves him, he would tend to love his father in return, and vice versa. Fourthly, the MK and MF function are called humanity functions. They explain the human nature to forgive their parents and children. That is, if his father now hates his son, he would tend to forgive him. Finally, beta is Franz's admiration for his father due to his father's success in his business and his strong build. And therefore, after several trials, we came to a finalized model. As we couldn't solve by any analytical solution to this non-linear system, we used Mathematica to find the numerical solutions and show the results graphically, as shown here. This figure, this one, is Franz's love for his father, and this one on the right is father's love for his son. The lower left one is the education by his father, as we introduced before. And the last graph here is the phase diagram between AK and AF. Ladies and gentlemen, may I draw attention to these interesting results. We compared the two data, the points, plotted by our analysis of the relationship from their books. Then, this curve comes from our model. They have a very similar trend, a bit higher at the beginning, and then goes down, and finally rise a little. The value of the age of 29, as we have mentioned before, is at the minimum. We might say that our model is roughly good. However, our model fails in explaining the trend in the final years. We believe that it is due to the increasing age of Franz Kafka. At different age, people have different perceptions in life. So, an older person is considered to be more sophisticated. Therefore, it is of higher possibility that error occurs. Also, we encountered the mature state of his words, which are much more difficult to comprehend. This will lead to errors if we misinterpret his words. Our model is quite suitable in describing the relationship. The poor relationship is caused by many factors as described in the models. It is ironic. It gives him fame and reputation after his death. Without his father, Franz Kafka could not become the Franz Kafka we know today. We believe that it is generally true that the dynamics of relationship between two people can be analyzed in this way with these 5 types of functions. Although the forms of functions and coefficients would differ from case to case, we hope that our results can be useful in improving the relationship of people. Also, by our project, we will be able to say that it is possible to combine literature and mathematics together. It is always our wish. Thank you very much.